Hello and welcome back to the Heritage and Home Crochet Podcast. I am your host Deja and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I have a lot of things to share with you. So today is going to be a good old-fashioned whips and faux video, plus some new items that I have added to my yarn craft arsenal. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So let's start with the most important thing, the thing that is the most gratifying and satisfying about these videos, and that is the faux. So I have two faux to share with you today. I technically have three faux, but I did give one away. So I'll talk about that one first. That was a twisted headband using the Lion brand Hometown Classics yarn. So it's like the really thick chunky yarn. I think it's like a size 6 chunky. Or bulky actually, and I just made a really nice twisted headband, and it's in the color green with tweed. It's like a dark forest green with tweed in it, and it's really cute. I am gonna actually make up a bunch of those because those will be the first thing that I put in my Etsy shop, and I will update you guys on that when that happens. In the meantime, let's move on to my second faux. These are something that I'm super excited. I told you guys when I purchased the blue raspberry yarn that's the colorway from the brand Peyton's Crochet sock yarn. So here are a pair of socks that I made with them. They are so nice. I love them so much. I've been doing so many things with them and I am absolutely in love. So I just wear them all the time now. I love how the shapes are not the shapes, but the striping effect is different on either one. I love that you can see the patterning still, but it is a completely different look on the second sock. I just love that this sock has a white ribbing, and this one has a blue ribbing. Yeah, it's just so pretty. I love them, and they fit beautifully. I kind of improvised. I didn't follow any particular pattern, but what I did was kind of go off of my memory of when I followed a Happy Berry crochet pattern for a toe-up sock that was posted some years ago, and I attempted to make socks back then and it worked out good. But now that I heard about sock yarn, I decided to try it again because before last year I had no clue about sock yarn. I had no clue there was a whole yarn specifically for socks. So yeah, so these are my first faux. I love them so much, and I am actually working on another pair of socks, but we'll get into that when I get to my whips. So this is the technically second faux. My third and last finished object is massive. There's no way I'm going to be able to fit it on the screen, but it is indeed the blanket that I made for my sister using the Bloom chunky yarn. I'm trying to get it up, and this is it, and this is what it looks like. It's folded into several folds, but it's really big and it's really pretty, and I love it. It's very cozy and squishy, and it's just a dream. It's actually super warm, and I love it. I actually don't want to give it away, but I made it specifically for her. I saw this yarn and I was like, this will be great for my sister. So I got it for her, and I still haven't went through and picked out all the dog hair bits. But anyways, this is the pattern. I did do a half double crochet for pretty much 90% of the blanket, and those of you who have been here on my channel before, you know that I have a struggle with finishing projects before I just like hop full-fledged into a new project. So of course, before I hand this off to my sister, I am going to tie in my ends or sew in my ends and go from there. But yeah, so like I said, the most of it was a half double crochet. So you can see the majority of it, but there is a portion of it, if I can find it, that is made from the moss stitch, which is a single crochet, chain one, single crochet, and then on the next round you single crochet and then chain one into that chain space. No, single crochet into the chain space, chain one, single crochet into the chain space. So it creates this really cool effect. Is it upside down? No, okay, it's right side up. So it creates this really cool effect, and I really like it. It's hands down my favorite crochet stitch to do because it creates a really beautiful even fabric that doesn't have the lines in it like a typical crocheted object does, but it's super easy to do. It's not like some fancy stitch that you have to do, and it combines two of the easiest things, two of the fundamental basics of crochet, which is a crochet and a chain, a single crochet and a chain. So those are my 3 faux. I love this blanket so much. It's so cozy. I don't know how I'm gonna get all the hair out of it. Pepper's hair is black, most of it anyways, and this is a white blanket, and my sister has a hair phobia basically. So anyways, that finishes up the faux portion of the video, and next I'm gonna talk about my whips. I have a lot of whips, plus a few unfinished projects, but I hope to get around to those eventually. But at this moment, I'm gonna talk more about the things that I'm currently excited about. That's the thing about me, is that I get super excited to start projects. I love finishing them too because I'm really excited about the end result. But if I no longer have the mojo to do a particular project, then I probably will unconsciously, subconsciously set it aside and begin working on something that's more exciting. But I don't like having unfinished things. I really don't. So I am hoping to finish up a lot of projects before I start a lot more projects. That's why I'm trying to temper my purchases of yarn, and be more intentional about that, so that I can use up the yarn that I have, and also all the ideas that go along with them. That is the thing about yarn for me personally, is that they call out to me and they tell me what to make with them. And so when I buy them, I know exactly what I'm gonna make with it for most of it, probably about 90% of my stash. The other things are ones that I've gotten on clearance. I'm like, this is too good of a deal to pass up. Or like, you know, when Hobby Lobby has their like spring and like end of the year, not spring, summer clear out, and like the end of the year kind of clear out, I kind of get a bunch of skeins that I'm just like, man, I really want to make something with this. So enough about the rambling. Let's go ahead into the whips. So my first whip that I want to show you, I mentioned I was working on another sock. So here is a sock that I am making. I wanted to tackle a longer sock, so here's a sock that I'm making, and this is the makes a perfect pair, I believe, sock yarn from Loops and Threads, which is the Michaels brand, and it's a self-patterning yarn. Is it focusing? There it is. It's really pretty. The beginning turned out really pretty. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to start color controlling, because I don't like that this one is like partially a couple of colors, and like I want it to be a full color of a rim. So I'm gonna have to start color controlling when it comes to certain things like these. But I really wanted to see how the yarn worked out, and this is really pretty to me. I don't know what this random stripe of like dark purple is, because I'm pretty sure that's not anywhere else in the skein. So I think it's kind of just like if there were a typo in the yarn world, I think that's what this would be, because that's not right. But overall, I really like the sock. I'm really curious to see how the full set turns out. It fits really nicely. The thing that I love about this sock yarn that is not the case with the Peyton's Croy is that this one has a lot of stretch to it, a lot. The other one does too, and it took a while for the stitches to sort of relax into the shape of my foot. This one just automatically conforms, and that's why I wanted this one, because it had quite a bit of stretch, and I could put it up on my calf because I have quite large calves. So when I get done with this, I'll show it to you, and I'll also insert a little snippet of me wearing the other socks, because they're more of a crew sock. They're slightly longer than like a crew sock. So am I saying that right? I don't know. Is this more of a crew sock? I don't know. I'm trying to remember which one is a long one and which one is a short one. Ankle socks are the short ones, and this is a crew sock. So it's kind of, the other one is kind of in the middle of both of those. I don't know, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know things like that. So anyways, yeah, so I've already broken for the heel and created a little pocket hole right there, and now I'm going around the foot of the sock, like the part that you step into. Is that called the instep? Obviously I haven't been to design school, but yeah, so this is my first project, and I am using a 3.5mm hook for that, and of course I'm using my tulip hook. So that is my first whip. I haven't worked on this one quite as much as I was in the beginning when I first started the project, because I do have things that had certain deadlines to meet. So I had to finish this blanket, I have to finish another blanket that I'm going to show you on my whips. So this one's kind of taking a bit of a back seat, but I will definitely finish these and update you on those. So that's my first whip. The second whip that I'm going to show you is the next blanket. It is a baby blanket. I really enjoy making baby blankets. I really do. I find that I really like them. My design capabilities, I'm really seeing them come out when it comes to blankets, and being able to color play and like use different patterns and stitches and things like that. So this is a baby blanket that I am following. This is the thing that I do. I follow the gist of a pattern. I understand how to do like the basics of it, and then I just change everything about it pretty much. So this is the baby blanket that I am working on right now. It's in the shape of a triangle at this point, but it's eventually going to make a perfect square. And this is based off of the TLYC. I will have to put that in. I'll have to put that in the picture of the video because I don't remember the name of that baby blanket, but it's just a Tunisian simple stitch. So that's all that I'm using to create this. The only thing is that I'm using 2 different yarns. This is the hook that I am using. It is the Denise crochet hook set that's interchangeable, and this is my hook. This is a size L11 hook, 8 millimeters. So there's that hook. You gonna focus? There it is. And then I'm using this pretty long cord for it. I've had to link 2 different cords together to get such a long cord. And yes, so the yarn that I'm using for this, you might have seen in my premiere yarn haul. This is the Puzzle Baby. It's not even baby, it's just puzzle yarn. I don't know why I keep thinking it's a baby yarn, but it's a Premier Puzzle yarn, and this is in the color Acrylic. And it's just a really pretty variation of colors. I love the subtle fade, and I love how it looks monochrome in a lot of areas. And it's just a subtle color change, and I really enjoy that. And I am adding in a combination of 3 different yarns. So I'll show that to you in 1 second. Those are these 3 different colors of yarns. So the first one I started with was the blue. That is on the initial corner down here that I started the project on, and I like the way that it plays with the acrostic. It's really, really nice. Let me get it up close so you can see. And the second one that I've been using is kind of like the lime yellow green color, and I really love the way that plays with the acrostic. I love that. It's so pretty. Oh. And this color, these yarns as well are variegated. So you'll see some really deep lime colors, and you'll see like a lighter lime color, and then of course it has areas that are almost white. So I really love that, and I love the way that it plays around with the lighter and darker components of the acrostic yarn. So this is yarn from Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee. This is the Awesome Ombre line. I believe it's discontinued, but you probably can find it somewhere, maybe online. It is 435 yards. This is in the color Neon Orange. I don't know the other colors. Maybe this is Neon Green. I don't know. But I lost the ball bands. I ripped them off, so I don't know where they are. But this one right here is 200 grams, and it is 328 yards, which is quite a bit. I had no clue I wasn't going to need all of this yarn, because there's no way this baby blanket is going to take 3 big skeins of this. So this is the one ball that I'm still currently working on. I haven't even broken into the second ball yet, and there's still plenty left. I feel like I might be able to get done with the one, and this of course has plenty of yarn left in it, so I might be able to make 3 of these blankets, and I can just have them on standby, because I'm really enjoying the process of making this blanket. It works up extremely fast because of the chunky mixed with the 1-weight yarn. It's really nice. The only thing that might present to be a challenge is that these are both primarily acrylic yarns. The acrostic is 100% acrylic, and this one has about 10% wool. It does have a bit of nylon, I want to say, in this, or is it polyamide? acrylic, nylon, and wool. So it's 15% nylon in these. What I'm saying is, because Tunisian crochet has a propensity to like roll up on itself, I'm not sure if these are going to do okay with the blocking process. I mean, you want baby yarns to be soft. You want them to be like acrylic. Like wool is definitely not ideal because you need to be able to like wash them and everything. But we'll see. I don't know. I hope it blocks out. If it doesn't, I might just use my steamer to try to do something with it. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But so far I'm loving it, and that is my second whip. I can't wait to layer it in the orange. When I get done with it, I will tell you pretty much the process that I used to make the project. Okay. Now for my third whip. The last two are sitting here on the ground. Let me just pull them up here. So the first of the third is my green sweater. That's hopefully going to be a raglan style sweater. I don't know, I've never made one before, and I'm just kind of making it up as I go, just winging it, because now I know the fundamentals of making a sweater. We'll see. So yeah, this is what it's looking like so far. It's really nice, very stretchy. I haven't worked a ton on it because I'm just getting done with some bigger projects, but the yarn that I'm using for this is the Wool Like yarn by Loops and Threads. There it is. And this is in the color Olive. I have so much of this yarn, and I was like, I have got to make a sweater with it. And the thing about it is that there's a ridiculous amount of yardage in these things. Like, what's the yardage? There's 678 yards in this. So I doubt I'm gonna use all of the skeins that I have, but who knows, maybe I can make like a, I don't know, like a matching skirt with the sweater. So I don't know, but this is really nice. I love the way it feels. It's so squishy. And if you don't recall, I am using it double with 2 different strands. So I have 2 different balls going at the same time, and that is giving me this really squishy feeling because these yarns have a fair amount of stretch to them. There's 15% nylon and 85% acrylic in this yarn. And of course, like I said, I got this from Michael's, and I am using a size 7 hook, which is a 4.5 millimeter hook. Focus, there we go. And of course, it's the tulip. I'm telling you, I'm obsessed. So that is my first one. It's really nice. I've only done like a row or 2 on this, so I did put it in my whips because it is something I'm currently working on. I'm not going to begin another sweater until I finish this sweater, but that don't mean I can't make a shirt. So my next and final whip is a shirt that I am designing. It's definitely a figure it out as you go project, and I guess I just sort of am like that as a person in general. So the first part of the project is this right here. This is the back of the project. So I will reveal the final design when it's done because I genuinely don't know. I don't know. I haven't even drawn a picture. I can just picture it in my head of what I want. But I do know that there is going to be some element of peplum. So be prepared for that. And this is the back portion. And this is the part that's going to be like right here. Like that. I do think I want kind of like a boat neck kind of a vibe. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to fit on the back. And I am going to kind of taper it at the waist, so I am going to do a little bit of shaping. I'm going to experiment with a little bit of shaping, so we'll see how that goes. And I wanted to kind of do that like at the waist so that the peplum can be more exaggerated. And the peplum aspect I'm thinking about doing in this color. Oh, I should tell you about this yarn. So this is the Andorra Yarn. These are both the same yarn contents, I think. I think they're the same yarn content. I might be making that up. I don't have the ball band for this one anymore. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. But what happens is I'll cake up my yarn and I'll put the ball band in the middle, and as I move the yarn around, sometimes they get misplaced. But I've had this one kind of like walking around with me, trying to like So I do this thing when I'm excited about using a yarn, but I can't start on something right away because I still have a ton of projects to finish. So I'll just like hold the yarn. I'll just like put it in my yarn bag or wherever, my project bag, and just like hold on to it, and it just makes me feel comforted. It makes me happy just to know that like I have it. It gives me something to look forward to. And so that's kind of what's happened with this yarn, is that it's been kind of like following me around, and I lost the ball band for it. So anyways, this is the one color and this is the second color. I got these from a yarn store in Boston called Fiber and Bead. And they're just delicious. This one will focus. Will it? There we go, to cover my face up. So yeah, but this one is 60% merino wool, 20% Highland wool, 20% mohair, and I think they're the same, just these came in a 100 gram skein and these came in a 50 gram, well, hank. I'm pretty sure this one might have a higher wool content, but I'm really not sure. But I know this one does definitely have mohair in it. But they are very soft. I love when yarn is like soft and airy and squishy like this, and when it has this like slight halo, if you can see that. I love that. And these yarns make me very happy. And it's not itchy at all. It feels amazing against the skin. And that's probably, you know, no doubt the mohair in there. But yeah, they're really beautiful, and they are, let's see, 3-weight yarn, lightweight yarn. And this color is in the color Haint Blue. Let's see, can you see that? It's not focusing. Anyways, it's called Haint Blue, and this one I'm not really sure, but as you can see, it's kind of like a dark teal color. And so I have those two together. But wait, I have all these like odd balls of yarn that I got from Boston just because I was like so excited, and it was before I was being intentional about my yarn. So I have this ball of yarn that is just a ball of fun. Look at this. And look at this explosion of colors in there. I wish you could see it in the ball before I started using it. I started Tunisian crocheting with it, and this is the Tunisian crochet hook that I am using. It's the same as the Denise hook from before, but this is the size 7, which is the 4.5 millimeter hook, and this is just a short tube I have on it. So cord, I guess is the word. So what I propose is gonna happen. This back is gonna be solid, and then I think I'm gonna also have, the front be 2 separate segments. So one side is gonna be one color, and I think I'm gonna do it in this color, and then the other side is gonna be in this color right here, and then the peplum aspect is gonna be this blue color, which is the same as this one, just caked. And I have another skein of yarn that looks like this. It's the same exact color, but it is much smaller. It's like a 1/lace weight yarn. So this one right here is a 3 as well. And I don't know the colorway of this. This is a German brand. I did get it from the same exact location that I got these from, which is Fiber and Bead. And it's this brand of yarn right here, edition 3, and it's definitely a German brand because everything is written in German. I don't know if you can see that. There we go, gotta pull it back. Yeah, so I have no clue what any of it says. I don't even know the color of the yarn. I just know that I loved it and I picked it up. So that's that. And that is the shirt that I'm working on. But for the back, I am doing a lemon peel stitch, I think. Again, it's one of those closed stitches that is just beautiful. It creates some interest and texture without having holes in it. So it's a pretty solid piece of fabric, and that's what I love. I love it. So yeah, there's that. And this has been a dream to work with. I am obsessed. For the back portion, I am using a 3.75 millimeter hook in F. And of course, this is my tulip hook. I do have some stitch markers here because I am having to count as I go, so I don't get overwhelmed and confused having to count all the time. It takes twice as long. So these every 10 stitches I'm putting a stitch marker. So that is it for my whips and faux. And now into the fun part. As someone who loves novelty and I love like newness, I love new things, new concepts, new ideas. So I am pretty much gonna buy something new like between every video that I make. So I'm glad to be able to have that as a portion of my video to share with you guys. And these are products that I eventually will begin to do reviews on. Typically if I really like it or really hate it. But I do want to start doing yarn reviews for specific yarns that are especially little known yarns. I know a lot of people don't do yarn reviews for the yarns that I tend to pick up. And I guess it's because, I mean, my theory is that I don't like standard basic yarns. I just don't. I don't like yarns that have extremely high acrylic content. Okay, let me put it this way. I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I do like it. I work with it. But I prefer to have something made of an animal fiber. I believe the quality is better. I like that it is organic, and I like that it can eventually decompose because acrylic does not. And I love the feeling of it. I love the smell of it. I love animal fiber. So anytime that I have an opportunity to choose an animal fiber over a synthetic fiber, I'm gonna choose a synthetic fiber. But synthetic fibers have their purpose. They're great. They wash and dry wonderfully. They are very long wearing to the point that they pretty much don't go away ever. And there's a huge variety, and some people are vegan, and that's understandable. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. That's just my preference. That's just what I like. And I think that because a lot of yarns, just for the pure fact that they're acrylic, it doesn't excite me the way that it excites me when I know I'm working with a wool or a mohair or a cashmere or anything like that, even a silk. Like I love the idea of working with those more luxurious materials, and I know that they are sustainable. You know, I know that. Well, not cashmere. Cashmere is not sustainable, and I guess I shouldn't say sustainable because wool as well is kind of debatable. But anyways, I do like bamboo. I do like tinsel. I do like, you know, things like that, but I love animal fibers the most. Sorry. So that is all for the whips and the faux portion. Now we're gonna go into the new items.